Hey, what's up, guys? This is Andy with Level 1, and I'm back to talk about BulletStorm Full Clip Edition. BulletStorm, there's not much to say because it is a remastered game. If you played the first, then you know exactly what happens, but you basically play as a bounty hunter named Grayson Hunt, and you get betrayed. Your team dies, and it's just you and one member of your team, Ishii, trying to survive and fight for vengeance in a strange planet. This game was a really solid game. I bought it the first time around for 360. I really enjoyed it. I was one of the few people that actually bought it. Unfortunately, it only sold under 1,000,000 copies. And there was a BulletStorm 2 plan, and they canceled it when that happened, obviously. And they didn't even turn a profit on this game, which is surprising because it was a really good game. The remastered version basically has some new graphics and a few other things. It doesn't have a lot, unfortunately, so if you own the original, there's not much incentive really to get you to buy this remastered version unless you're that big of a fan. But if you never played it, it is absolutely worth picking up. It was a really fun game, especially if you like those arcade shoot 'em ups, you know, that's just gory, jump in there and just start killing. What made it really fun was the whole skill shot thing that they had going on, where you have this menu of different weapons and different ways you can use them, different kills, different environmental kills, like things of that nature, and it's really cool. It keeps you playing. It definitely ups the replay value of this game. The game has a multiplayer mode. Unfortunately, it's not competitive like Call of Duty-esque or Gears, even though the game has like a very similar to Gears playstyle. But the multiplayer is called Anarchy, and you basically fight with 3 other people cooperatively to face against 20 waves of enemies, and you just have to keep your score high, like get a certain score to keep advancing. And it's not even really about survival, it's mostly about score. So they'll throw in some challenges like kill a certain enemy a certain way, and the 2 of you, or 4 of you really, will have to work together to do that and advance. They also have the Echoes mode back, which is you by yourself getting as many kills as you can and getting as high score as you can, and competing with people on the leaderboards, people in your friends list, and even there's a people in your area list, you know, because the government is always watching you and your area. They're definitely tracking. Anyway, this Echoes mode, they added about 6 new maps on the remastered version. How do they even know where your area is, honestly? Whatever. They added 6 new maps. 6 new maps for Echoes, and they added an Overkill Echo mode, which makes it a little bit harder. They also added an Overkill mode on the campaign, which makes that a lot harder as well, but you have to beat the original version. They also added Duke Nukem to the remastered version, but only if you pre-ordered it or purchased that DLC, which, again, I don't see people that already have this game for 360 buying it again for, or I mean pre-ordering it for Xbox One or paying for the DLC. But, you know, I don't want to discourage you from buying it. It is a really good game. If you don't have it, definitely buy this game and check it out. The graphics are updated. They have 4K on PS4 Pro and 4K on PC. The old game actually still holds up pretty well. If you pop in the old game, it still looks really good for its time. It looked great, and it still holds up pretty well now. The graphics, they updated it. You can tell by looking at the characters and looking at the world. Like when you look out at the map from a ridge or whatever, you could definitely tell. But during the cutscenes and stuff, if you look closely, like when they close up on the cameras, you could sort of tell that like the textures are a little bit off. Like you can tell when they do the close-ups that it's an old game, kind of. For an old game, it looks great, and you can tell that they try to update the graphics where they could. But I don't think they spent a whole lot of time working on this game, really. But it doesn't take away. It's a solid story. It had a really good plot. It had excellent voiceover work. They added new voiceover work with Duke Nukem's character. Unfortunately, the other people still call him Grayson, and he actually comments it on it early on. He's like, "I'm not Grayson. I'm not supposed to be here," and stuff. But after a couple levels, he sort of ignores it and it goes away. So that's what led me really to believe that they didn't do a whole lot, and they didn't really add a whole lot. But it was a great game the first time around. Again, I can't stress it enough. I enjoyed this game both times, both versions. If you don't have BulletStorm, get BulletStorm Full Clip Edition. You won't be disappointed. It's a fun game. It's a fun arcade game, and you'll definitely enjoy trying to get all these challenges and kill these people a certain way and using certain weapons. Like, it's a lot of fun and definitely worth checking out. You could definitely tell that the first time around they definitely got it right, but it's still the same game. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? But just gave us the same game and just fixed up the graphics a little bit and repackaged it. And I know that some people will be hesitant to buy a game like that because they feel it is kind of spending money on the same thing twice. But if you don't have it, check it out. Thanks for watching. Check us out at Level 1. We have a lot of cool stuff on the site, and thanks.